Students, welcome to Biogenesis. This is part 2 of Krebs cycle. Last video I have promised you what I will show you, I will explain you that what is acetyl coenzyme A and what is food. Students, my dear students, remember many of the scientists including Krebs explain the Krebs cycle as a key metabolic cycle. Why key metabolic cycle? Why key metabolic cycle? I am explaining you. See, what is the food? What you call is the food? You know, the chief means they have to convert it to acetyl coenzyme A. Why? Because this is the only substance, this is the only substrate which will give you 12 ATP. Which will give you 12 ATP. The only substrate. And therefore, so this is the acetyl coenzyme A, and I am explaining you what is acetyl coenzyme A. I am explaining you what is acetyl coenzyme A. So students, you might have known about acetic acid. You might have known about acetic acid. आपको acetic acid के बारे में पता है. What is that? CH3COOH having 2 carbon. When I will add an coenzyme A there, it will convert to CH3COO, This is called acetyl coenzyme. So got my point? What is acetyl coenzyme A? What is acetyl coenzyme A? This acetyl coenzyme A will break down totally and convert into CO2 plus H2O gradually and gives you what? 12 ATPs. Gives you 12 ATPs. Which substance or which molecule or which chemical substance helps this? This is your oxalloacetic acid. Oxalloacetic acid inside mitochondria capture the acetyl coenzyme A. Capture the acetyl coenzyme A and convert it into citric acid. In the previous video I have described it. If you have not seen, see the link below. The link is below for the previous video. Now we will see what is food. Students, what is food? The class 2 book it was mentioned. What is food? The substances, the molecules which gives us energy are called food. I have told you what will give us energy? Acetyl coenzyme A will give us energy. I have told you now. So that means what? Whatever be the food, you will tell the rice is food, you will tell bread is food, chicken is food, pizza is food, burger is food. Why? Because they can convert to acetyl coenzyme. And the second point is where the acetyl coenzyme A is present? Inside the mitochondria. Remember, the mitochondrial membrane cannot exit out acetyl coenzyme A. And acetyl coenzyme A also cannot enter into mitochondria. Why? You know, the mitochondrial membrane is selective permeable. The mitochondrial membrane is selective permeable. It does not allow the entry and exit of acetyl coenzyme A. Again I am repeating, those who have food, they produce energy. And the only way of produce energy is to convert into acetyl coenzyme A. Therefore, this reaction, acetyl coenzyme A, is called key substrate. Key substrate. It is the key of the log of what? Metabolism. It is the key of the log of what? Energy. If you put the acetyl coenzyme A key, your energy will open. So, whatever be the food, it must have to convert into acetyl coenzyme A. First point. Whatever be the food, it must and should have to convert into acetyl coenzyme A. Second point is acetyl coenzyme A cannot exit out, cannot enter into it. That means if in the cytoplasm, if you will produce acetyl coenzyme A, it cannot convert into energy. It will not produce, it will not give you energy. Because the enzymes are not present there. The enzymes are only present inside where? Mitochondria. Which can trigger acetyl coenzyme A completely and give you energy. So that means whatever your food particle, it must have to enter into mitochondria and convert there. It must have to enter into mitochondria and convert there into what? Acetyl coenzyme. Got my point or not? Again I am repeating. What is food that is gives us energy? And the key of energy is what? Acetyl coenzyme. So whatever be the food, it must have to convert into acetyl coenzyme. Otherwise, we will not explain it as food. We will not explain it as your. Okay. Then second point is acetyl coenzyme A can only functions inside mitochondria because the enzymes to degrade acetyl coenzyme A are present inside mitochondria. And the third point is acetyl coenzyme A is impermeable in the membranes of mitochondria. That means the food have to enter into mitochondria and convert there into acetyl coenzyme A. So we will go for food. We have know how many types of foods are there. We have know how many types of foods are there. First, carbohydrate. Second, lipid. Third, protein. Fourth, mineral. 5, vitamin. 6, water. So these three substances don't produce energy directly. So what produces energy is carbohydrate, lipid and protein. So according to my previous statement, they must have, why they are food? They can enter into mitochondria and convert there into acetyl coenzyme. The point is, protein can enter into mitochondria. The point is, lipid can enter into mitochondria. But the point is, the most important point is, the carbohydrate did not enter into mitochondria. Why? If main carbohydrate is what? Glucose. If glucose can enter, glucose also can exit. If glucose can enter, glucose also can exit. For that, mitochondria stops glucose to enter, glucose to exit. What my point you understand? You have told what that are food that will produce energy. Means that can enter into mitochondria and convert there into glucose. Convert there into acetyl coenzyme A. So your protein can enter into mitochondria, your lipid can enter into mitochondria, but your carbohydrate cannot. That is, your glucose cannot. So what happens, students? See, acetyl coenzyme A is present inside where? Mitochondria. Your protein enters into mitochondria and converts into acetyl coenzyme A. This process is called as deamination. This process is called as deamination. You might have known protein degrade into amino acid, and amino acid can enter into mitochondria and converts into acetyl coenzyme A. This process is called deamination. Your lipid, mostly fatty acid, can enter into mitochondria and converts into acetyl coenzyme A. And this process is called beta oxidation. But the problem arises with glucose. So students, you declare glucose as your food, but glucose cannot enter into mitochondria. So how glucose is food? But the scientists have told that glucose is what? Your food. Why they have told this? Because glucose converted to pyruvic acid in the process called glycolysis. Now the pyruvic acid enters into the mitochondria and converts there into acetyl coenzyme A. So this is the clue, the key point, how foods are converted into acetyl coenzyme. Part by part, how protein through deamination, how glycolysis, how glucose passed outside mitochondria converts into pyruvic acid enters into mitochondria and converts to acetyl coenzyme A. Lipid enters into mitochondria and converts into acetyl coenzyme A by the process of beta oxidation. You remember, lipid provides much more energy than glucose. We will discuss in next videos. Lipid provide much more energy than carbohydrates. But body, the life cycle permits only the degradation of glucose more because it requires less oxygen. Lipid requires more oxygen to produce energy. So body wants that glucose always gives me what? Energy. Okay. Then the last point. What is that last point? See, acetyl coenzyme is breaking. I have told you in my past video, you will see the link is there. You can see there. Acetyl coenzyme is breaking. So breaking means anabolic or catabolic? Breaking means anabolic or catabolic? Obviously you will say catabolic. Yes, this is a catabolic process. Yes, this is a catabolic process. But remember, the steps, the substrates that produce on the way of acetyl, the Krebs cycle, they are the precursors of what? Amino acid. That means in Krebs cycle, what breaks? Acetyl coenzyme A. And what synthesize? Amino acid. What breaks? Acetyl coenzyme A. What synthesize? Amino acid. So therefore, your Krebs cycle is an anabolic process. What is your Krebs cycle? Krebs cycle is an anabolic process as well as catabolic process. Krebs cycle is the catabolic process of what? Krebs cycle is the catabolic process of lipid. Krebs cycle is the catabolic process of glucose. Krebs cycle is the catabolic process of protein. But is the anabolic process of what? Amino acid. Is the anabolic process of what? Amino acid. Therefore, Krebs cycle is called as amphibolic pathway. Amphibolic pathway. So got clear? In the two lectures I have described why Krebs cycles is called what? Key process, key metabolic process. Why? The chief energy producing process as well as chief amino acid producing process, which latter in the ribosome converts into what? Synthesize what? Protein. Amino acids in the ribosome joins with each other by peptide bonds to form what? Protein. So